North Base Construction, great service from the ground up. Roofing, storm damage, and siding. Call the pros at North Base. A hands-on approach, advice and consulting. Our attention to detail makes the difference. Visit online at northbaseconstruction.com. North Base Construction, great service from the ground up.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the North Face Construction Relegation Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm your host, Jack Yeager, alongside Andrew Peterson and Luke Yeager.
Hello, brothers.
Hello, brothers.
Oh, that was so far off. No,
That felt so good to me.
did it? It was
I think Andy was a little late on that one.
it's super delayed.
On today's show, we have off-season speculation continued, as well as a draft duel. We'll get right into off-season speculation right now. Throughout the offseason, we're going to be analyzing how well all of the teams in the North Face Construction Relegation League are set up heading into next season. So far, we have reviewed Unicorn Fart, Long Necks, Turf Hoppers, Number Punchers, Rawberry, Slumlord Co., and Avalanche. And this week, we'll start out with the Big Lake Lumberjacks, probably get to the Sleepers, and then we'll see where we're at.
Well, we don't have any other segments today, really, besides the draft, so we might get through 3 or 4 today.
We might get 3 or 4, maybe.
Yeah. Why not?
I mean, when have we ever been long-winded?
Literally never.
Never. I get comments all the time in TikTok that just say, why can't you guys go longer? Like, you always leave me wanting more.
Yeah.
Longer. Yeah. No, I get
More
it.
content.
Yeah.
More. Give it.
Those words sounded too natural.
Yeah, they did.
All right, let's start with Lumberjacks, where they ended the season. So they traded away $28, but received $16 back in trades, which leaves them $12 below the base keeper budget. So they have $168 going into the offseason. They finished 8th, which gives them a bonus veteran draft or a veteran draft bonus of $10. So if they don't keep anybody, they'll have $178 going into the veteran draft. They have no first round rookie picks this year or next year, but they do have second round picks in both those years.
Oh, wow. Second rounders.
Yep.
They'll really restock that chest with those second round picks. Yeah.
Well, let's
Is that what they say? Restock the chest?
That's what Quasi says. I think that's his phrase. You know how in Ted Lasso he has believe? Quasi has stock them chest with picks taped up on his wall.
Les Snead is frick them picks. Quasi is stock the chest of picks.
It's catchy.
It really rolls off the tongue. Right?
It really does.
It does. Okay, so here's who he has for potential keepers going into next year. I'll just go through some of the main guys, and you guys tell me as we go whether you would keep or cut. Jordan Love for $6.
Keep.
Yep, that's an easy keep. Brandon Ayuk for $21.
Keep.
DK Metcalf for $33.
Oh, I'm going to tentative cut, but I think that could be a keep depending on what player values end up being.
Yeah.
That's on the line for me though.
I lean keep right now. I feel like he's a top 15 guy. And
Was he this last year?
I don't know where he finished, but I feel like over his career he's a top 15 guy, right? I mean, how long's he been in the league now? It's been 5 years, 6 years. Maybe I'm off.
DK Metcalf was number 15 on the year.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, in that case I'd pick. But the only thing being, we don't know for sure that Geno Smith is going to be back. And there's a new head coach in Seattle.
Does that really affect? Do you really think it could get worse than what he had this year? He only had like 60 some catches, 1,000 yards. Like, is he going to get worse than that with any QB that comes in?
But you say that, it's like, do you think that's worth what would it be? $37 would it be
33.
30? Oh, it's only 33?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, then I'd keep.
He was drafted in 2019. So he's been in the league this will be his 5th year coming up.
I think you keep him for now. We'll see how the other players kind of finish out with the money total.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
I think you keep him.
DeAndre Swift for 14.
Keep.
All right. James Cook for 24.
Keep.
For sure.
Yeah.
Trey McBride for 14.
Cut.
I'm going to say yes.
Keep.
I think 14
He
is
was on a heater at the end of the season.
He
not
was.
at the end of the season. He was on a
Or
heater
no.
in the
Or
just-
middle of the
like-
season.
Yeah. And I think that there's probably not a whole lot like, okay, let's say they draft Marvin Harrison with the 4th pick or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
There's still going to be a ton of targets for Trey McBride, and Kyler's again has a full offseason where he's healthy. I think that's worth $14.
Yeah. I think he's worth it. I think it's probably. Do you think if he goes into the draft though, is he going to go for that much more than that? Like, do you think he goes for 20?
This is kind of one of those things where it's like, I think I would regret more if I didn't keep him, and he went for, I don't know, what do you like? I think I would just regret it if I didn't keep him. I'm not using my words well right now, but you know what I'm trying to say, don't you guys?
You would rather it would hurt more for you if you didn't keep him and he goes for more than if you keep him and you feel like you didn't get the value you deserved.
Yes.
Okay, that's fair. I think it's right on the edge. I would probably keep him. I think he's worth the risk at the 14, although usually that price of a player is probably the no man's land of tight ends. Like, that's not.
Well, I think like the no man's land of tight ends is those middle round tight ends. I don't know. I mean, what did McBride finish this last year? I mean, he must have been top 5, right?
I'm sure. That was with Andrews missing a lot of time.
Trey McBride finished 10th.
What?
Really?
Mm-hmm. Sam Laporta, George Kittle, Travis Kelce, T.J. Hawkinson, David Njoku, Evan Ingram, Taysom Hill, Cole Kmet, Jake Ferguson, Trey McBride.
Holy
All right,
cow.
never mind. Maybe I'm just letting.
That's in standard though. He finished 9th in half PPR.
Wow.
Oh,
I thought he did way better than that. Okay.
I did too. In PPR, he's 7th.
I'm going to let him.
Okay, I take all that back. We know nothing.
I'm going to
You know-
let him
you know what's
walk
crazy
just
is-
because I think some of those guys that you named, like Njoku or something like that, you might be able to get for a similar price. And I think he's probably just as good.
You know what's crazy is Evan Ingram finished 2nd this year in half PPR.
Isn't that like I did not think he had like any.
But
He had some good games towards the end of the season.
Was
especially like week 13 and on. Yeah.
Was that just a stat collection year for him? Was it just that he didn't miss time and other tight ends did?
Probably.
I mean, that's what happens a lot though when someone finishes like.
He only finished a point ahead of Kelce and 2 points ahead of Hawkinson. Sam Laporta was the only one who had a clear, like, distinct, like, front runner position with like 23 points more than Evan Ingram.
He finished.
Yeah.
He finished only 2 points ahead of Hawkinson, and Hawkinson missed like a third of the year.
Yeah.
Hawkinson only missed week 17 and 18.
Like I said, a third of the year.
Yeah.
That Christian education, that math.
Got it.
All right.
The Bible doesn't say anything about math. All right.
Okay.
So are we keeping Trey McBride?
I think we're
Probably
letting.
not.
No.
Let's leave him as a cut for now. Jaden Reed for
Okay.
$8. Keep.
Yes. Keep.
Yeah.
You're not keeping Herbert. Ramondre
Whoa,
Stevenson.
whoa! Let's have a discussion here, gentlemen.
Khalil Herbert for 24. I'm trying
No.
to. Okay.
Cut.
Stevenson for 39. I don't think so.
Cut.
Nah.
And then
You're cutting Chase Brown, Tucker Kraft, Okonkwo, and Jake Browning.
Yep. I think
I honestly think, yeah, maybe you keep.
then
I mean,
Joe Burrow.
Kirk.
Joe Burrow and Christian Kirk. Joe Burrow for 28, Christian Kirk for 24.
I don't think I'm keeping Burrow.
You think he goes less than that in the draft?
No.
Well, I think I can get a quarterback like for less than that who is like I'd rather just allocate, especially in Ross's position where he's not going to have a ton of X. I just don't know if Ross is in a position where he can spend $28.
AP, would you rather have Joe Burrow or Baker Mayfield next year?
I mean, Joe Burrow, obviously, but Baker, I mean, you're keeping him, right?
Yeah, I am.
What'd you pay for him? Was it $1?
Yep.
You get him for $5?
Correct.
I mean, there's an argument to be had. Would I rather have Baker at 5 or Burrow at 28? What is that? What are you doing? Is that a Heisman?
That's not even the right Heisman.
It's the throwing Heisman. They're bringing it into the league next year.
It looked like a sec you were doing the Heil. Yeah,
I kept going like this.
Because that's where Baker Mayfield fans are Nazis. You heard it here
The Germans
first,
are good at football.
Throw, Baker, throw!
He's hurt.
Oh, my tummy.
Oh,
Baker's my
gosh.
favorite, yeah.
Oh
You
my
just
God.
got mastered by Mike Evans.
You guys do really good German accents. It's pretty impressive.
Yes, we do, Mr. Jager.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
It's Baker Mayfield. He's my favorite.
Okay. Back to the Lumberjacks here. So
No, let's keep it going. Let's keep it going.
you went
Here we
Italian.
That turned into like Mario, like German Mario.
Let's go.
It's a me, a Hitler.
It's a me.
It's a me.
Princess Peach, take the capsule.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so here's where we stand. We're keeping Jordan Love, Ayuk, Metcalf, Swift, Cook, Reed, and Christian Kirk. With all of those guys being kept
Not Christian Kirk. Wait, are we keeping Christian Kirk?
for
I
24,
would probably keep Kirk.
I would.
Okay.
They're not gonna. I mean, he's gonna be the number one option down there because they're not, and they're losing Calvin Ridley. He was on.
Where's he headed?
Is he for sure gone?
Pretty positive. They sound like they're not happy with him, and he was on a 1-year deal. I don't think they'll re-sign him. My guess is if they want to get another, I think they want a big, fast wide receiver on the outside, a more typical alpha wide receiver, and I think they'll try to look in the draft, like maybe at that kid out of Texas, like what is it, Adonis Mitchell or something like that, or like I think a guy like that. Actually, he might be small. What do I know? I haven't done my scouting yet.
Yeah, no. My draft prep doesn't start until the day before the draft. So
yeah.
No, did you guys see the Justin Jefferson headline today that says he wants to break the bank?
No, but I mean, it makes sense. Wasn't everybody assuming that?
Yeah, but you don't say that, all right?
You don't say that you want to break the bank, even though everybody knows it, including him.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Like he's like, he should say his PR guy needs to work. All right, I want to be on this team. It's all about championships.
No,
It's not about breaking the bank.
he loses. No, if he says it's all about championships, he loses leverage. Then he's basically letting the team know, okay, I'll take a little bit less. You don't have to give me the top dollar.
No. Reverse psychology, right?
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
You tell the NFL, look, I don't want your money, and they're gonna be like, oh no, now take it. We don't want to keep this for ourselves.
Right.
I do think it's like the more I think about it, I think trading Justin Jefferson for like the 2 or the 3 pick makes sense.
Whoa. Really?
We've got Addison. Addison looks like a budding, young, really good wide receiver. You're telling me if we can move up to 2 and select Drake May for Justin Jefferson? Like, I think we do that.
Here's what I need to know. I need to know, and we never will, but I would need to know, is he coming back? Like, are we re-signing him? If we're not, then yeah, trade him. if we're re-signing him, you're giving up the best wide receiver in the NFL for a guy who has not proven it. It's a
but
coin
at a more
toss.
valuable again, you're right. It's more of, I think, a swing for the fences pick, where you're hoping to hit on, a franchise quarterback. If it doesn't work out, we look like idiots.
If I'm going to take a swing on that, though, I would much rather take a swing with future draft picks. Like, I would rather do, I know it didn't work out, but I'd rather do what the 49ers did for Trey Lance than I would give.
Or like what the Redskins did for RG3, where it's like,
yeah,
I think I'm kind of with you, where I want to see the Vikings empty the clip for moving up, whether that's, I don't think we're not going to get up to 1 or 2, but if we can get up to 3 for the Patriots and take, what's his name, Daniels out of LSU, I don't know.
Shane Daniels.
I think Caleb Williams falls to 3.
Are you kidding me?
I could see it.
Mm-hmm. I think
You guys are idiots.
no, I don't think so. Here's the thing: Caleb Williams
is overrated.
Yeah. Not that he's going to be bad. I'm just saying that
No.
I don't think he's the number 1. I think the other guys have shown similar things to him, and the other guys add stuff with their feet, where Caleb Williams is much more traditional pocket passer, but he's only like 6'1" or something, right? He's smaller than the other guys. He doesn't have the speed. It kind of depends what your team needs, but you just see guys like Mahomes or Rodgers in their prime who can move the pocket. You don't need as much of an incredible offensive line as you would with a guy like Caleb Williams.
Williams is definitely mobile. Like, he's not some statue back there.
AP, do you think that Caleb Williams has a better rookie season than CJ Stroud had?
No. Mainly because Stroud had probably the best rookie of all time.
Really?
Yeah.
Probably.
I mean, who would have been better?
Yeah.
Maybe Andrew Luck in 2012 or
Baker. Baker has the rookie TD record.
Yeah, honestly. Yeah. That's right. It's Baker, the greatest rookie quarterback ever.
He's so slept on.
Oh my God.
That's so
But yeah,
funny.
I don't know. I think it goes Williams 1, May 2, Daniels.
And you think 3 quarterbacks go like 1, 2, 3?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Is that what's projected right now?
That's what I've seen in the mock drafts I've looked up.
So does that mean, is one of those teams the Bears?
Yeah, the Bears are number
the Bears
1.
pick Williams at 1 or trade down to 2, which I think would probably be the best case, for them. If, Commanders trade up, get Williams, I think he's a native of the DC area.
Yeah.
They take May, get the, and then they trade Fields to, I don't know, Raiders, someone like that. And then at 3, the Patriots would probably take him back.
Williams is saying he won't play for Chicago as well.
Really?
Seriously?
Mm-hmm. Dude, I think,
But he will play
I
for
think
Washington?
the guy has serious mental, not mental issues. I think he doesn't have the mental fortitude for the NFL. He feels like a guy who's going to fall apart to me.
The more I hear about him, the more he sounds like Johnny Manziel.
He's
not
Johnny.
Manziel,
Not
but
an
I get what you're
alcoholic.
saying.
He's not a drug addict, all right?
You don't know what he does behind closed doors.
You're right. I don't know his personal story, all right?
You don't know him, Andy. Don't assume things.
You make assumptions.
You know his name, not his story, all right?
Ridiculous.
On Instagram, he posted
just looking
pictures
up,
out
I
of
didn't
church, so I
realize
bet
he
you feel
said that
pretty
was-
dumb.
Yeah.
Wait, what was that, Jack? I wasn't listening.
He posted pictures at a church on his Instagram story, so you probably look so stupid right now.
Shows he's a cuck. Doesn't think for himself.
You think
Oh, if you could see my video right now, I'm doing the dab or not the dab, the Baker
double
Hitler
middle fingers?
salute.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well,
So,
after that tangent, here's let me
Yep.
repeat it again. He's got Love, Ayuk, Metcalf, Swift, Cook, Reed, and Christian Kirk, and he still has $38 38 keeper dollars left. He could go with Trey McBride for 14, bring himself down to $24 left plus the 10, leaving him at $34 with the veteran draft and already have a full roster set going into next year.
Honestly,
That's pretty
I know
insane.
Ross, we all kind of poked fun at Ross this year for maybe not being the most conservative manager of his assets, but like, I don't know, like I'm pretty, I love, turnaround toward like basically the middle of the season on. I think he's got a solid roster.
Yeah.
And, despite being the league's sweetheart, it pains me.
I know. What do you guys rate where he stands with that? So let's say he does keep Trey McBride. So now he's got basically a full roster set. And he has, $34 left to spend.
Let's just like think this through. So he's got how many roster spots filled? He's got 1, 2, 5, 6, 7. So that means he has to fill 17 roster spots. Is that it?
No.
He has 8 filled.
I'm doing that.
He has 8, so he needs
filled, so
he needs to fill 12.
Good Lord. Oh, sorry, the numbers were off. But so that's maybe 5 $1 players, a quarterback he spends $15-ish on, and a couple other low end players. I mean, I think it's fine. I think it's good for where he got into the 8th spot. Looking at his roster, I don't think he mortgaged his future completely. But I'm also like, okay,
I don't think he has a championship roster, but I also feel like it's good enough to stay promoted. Like I feel like
this is like a 6 to 8 place team.
Ooh, well, that only leaves him one spot to stay promoted because 7 and 8 get relegated.
Oh, frick. Yeah.
But
then I don't know. I just don't know if this team is good enough to finish 5th or 6th.
It depends. I guess it depends on how Ayuk or Metcalf do next year. I don't think Swift
And
has
Jaden
the
Reed.
same. Jaden Reed, I think, is a flex guy, so I'm not thinking he would carry the team, but he needs somebody to. He needs Cook to carry or Ayuk to carry him or Metcalf. Like those are the guys who could be the studs. And if none of those 3 perform up to like a top 5 level, you're probably right. He's probably at risk of relegation next year, but he is set up better than I thought. Okay, so Jack, what do you rate it going into next season?
I'm gonna give it a B.
Okay, AP.
But like leaning towards a B plus.
Okay.
I also give it a B, leaning more towards B.
Okay. I lean probably more towards the. Looking at it, I think probably B, leaning towards B plus. It's just a few.
That's because this
few
is the
question
kind of
marks,
team you
but-
like to see. Safe, Jaeger. All right.
No, here's the
No risk
No.
taken.
This isn't necessarily because he's not deep enough. He's got an average starting roster with nobody on his bench to replace. I like a roster
And I think
where
that's a good way to sum it up. It's like a maybe slightly above average starting roster with 0 depth and very little potential, I think, for a breakout stud.
okay. I lean B minus. I think you're right.
Ha ha! Suck it, Jack.
Suck it, Mr. Yager. You've swayed me. All right. Speaking of Mr. Yager, I can't do accents, guys. I don't know how to.
No. Just try it once, Luke. I just want to hear your German accent.
Oh, Mr. Yager.
Jack, you want to hear this? Are you kidding me right now? It's the worst accent I've ever heard.
The sleepers.
Mr. Yager. Oh, help me, Mr. Yager. Get me out of here.
That was good.
Thank
That
you.
was really good.
Okay. Yeah. I would
All right,
rate
let's
it
get
an A.
let's get it into the sleeper so that you guys can tease me about how whack my team's gonna look next season.
Let's do it. Okay, here's where you stand, Jack, going into next year. You traded away $12 but got $2 back. So you are at a $10 deficit at your keeper budget. You have $170. You got relegated, which all relegated teams have a veteran draft bonus of $5, which means that if you keep nobody, you get to take $175 into next year's draft.
I'll take it.
you have no first round picks, but you still have your second round draft pick this season.
Let's go.
Oh, baby.
Let's go, baby.
Refill the chest. Refill the chest.
Okay. Yay or nay? Jalen Hurts, $38. You keeping
Wait,
him?
I feel like, Luke, we should just go through this, right? Me and you?
No. Jack knows what he's keeping.
Yeah, but like, I don't want him
Idiot.
to ruin it for us.
Okay, you guys do it first, and then I'll tell you if
we'll
you're
I feel
right.
like we should predict it, and then Jack like confirms or denies.
Okay. Jalen Hurts for 38. AP, are you keeping him?
I wouldn't, but hearing Jack talk all year, yes.
I'm letting Hurts walk. Jack?
I'm gonna keep him and trade him. So not really.
Okay.
Where are you gonna trade him to?
I'm gonna trade him to anybody who wants him. Find myself a decent RB2.
That's like
and
every like fan off-season plan. It's like, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna sign Kirk Cousins and then trade him for first-round picks, and then we're gonna turn that into LeBron James. That's gonna be amazing.
That is funny that you said that because the Timberwolves, with the trade deadline going on right now, we've had conversations about trading Shake Milton and Kyle Anderson. And everybody's like, well, why don't we just package a deal like Shake Milton, Kyle Anderson? We'll get, I don't know, like Precious Achua or something, and, a first-round pick. And then, but like nobody ever remembers, if we don't want those guys, it's not like they have a lot of trade value. So they're like, let's just trade them both. And it's like, they sucked all year. Why would anybody else
But
want
Jack,
them?
that's
But
two guys.
greater than one.
Yeah.
For one. Oh, I didn't think about that.
It's like every fantasy trade ever. I'm like, back in high school, it's like, but I'm giving you 2 players.
Yeah,
one.
if you do the math, I'm giving you like 17 points a week, and I'm only asking for 14 points back from your one.
Yes,
player.
I love that one. No, the other one, Jack, is the whenever, like, I don't know if you guys ever go on other teams, like whatever. It's like the, Canis Hoopus or Dunking with Wolves. There's like the other team versions of that.
Yeah.
And seeing the trade suggestions they make for like Karl Anthony Towns, it's like, well, I think like a first round pick and like, I don't know, maybe Andre Drummond, it should do it. And I'm just like, you guys, like, is this what we sound like?
Probably.
100%.
100%, yeah, actually. So keep in
Anyway.
mind, Jalen Hurts did finish second in half PPR for quarterbacks. He was the number 2 quarterback in the NFL last year.
Who?
So
I
you're
just don't, I don't know. I feel like the vibes around Hurts are pretty poopy right now.
poopy?
Or just the Eagles in general. Maybe not Hurts specific.
Did you say-
You've got a new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator. I think Nick Sirianni's probably coaching for his job.
Yeah.
But, again, he's a rushing quarterback with an amazing set of weapons. And they didn't have a great defense. So,
Would you, Jack? Okay, would you trade? I'm trying to find who a partner could be for you. If Bakanzi wanted
Ross?
Bakanzi for, I don't think Ross is a trade partner.
Bakanzi's got Sam Howell to keep, Luke.
Yeah, okay.
Foo, 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 foo.
Bakanzi doesn't really have too many keepers. Let's say that he offers you his first this year for Hurts.
Just a first?
Just one.
He's going to want like a top 4 protection for like 8 years in a row.
Probably.
As of right now, I haven't put a ton of thought into it. I think I'd want players back. Some sort
Also,
of
Jack,
player.
if Sam Howell can go for a first round pick, you need to get at least that for him.
Yeah, but
I like the way you think.
nobody had to pay for Sam Howell. You don't have to add.
Yeah.
So he's basically giving a first to take Hurts and pay his contract.
But if I'm trading for
Yeah.
other people's contracts too, though. So like if I had to make a decision like right now, I'd want to trade for like a James Cook and somebody else, or like a running back
not
to that
getting
caliber, or like I know. We did this. This is the exact same conversation we had on the last podcast that didn't air. I said the exact same thing. You said you're not getting that, and I said I know.
I would think you would learn then. It feels like I brought this up before.
You know how I'm building it up. You know how I'm setting up the conversation. So, and then I said, okay, well then maybe I'd go for Cole with like Jalen Warren or Rashad White, and you're like, you're not getting Rashad White. So everybody's caught up. This is what happened last week. All right, we're back on track.
Though, I'm on Luke's side here. Like, what? One, you're talking about Cole, who's not going to move any of his players. He's in love with those guys.
We talked about that too.
All right. Well, glad I missed
Nobody else
Well,
has heard these things, Jack.
Nobody's heard it. Nobody's heard
So I was
it.
gonna say you guys shouldn't reveal this.
We
Just let
can.
it be the.
Yeah, I was gonna say we can just keep going.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know, but
gotta control your emotions.
I can't help it. This is the exact same thing that happened, and I had even said like, I know, but I'm looking for a player of like that caliber or in that range. So if you would have let me finish, I was getting there.
But
I want Christian McCaffrey for Jalen Hurts. All right,
you know what
and
we
a
should-
first round pick.
I think
you
that's
know what
the
we should
point,
work on is
though.
not cutting each other off as much, because maybe we have continual thoughts.
Here's the thing. I don't agree with your continued thought. I'm saying that range of player, James Cook or better, you're not going to be able to get a James Cook or better unless their contract is way more expensive and you don't have the funds to keep that expensive player. So
Yeah, I'm saying James Cook would be the ceiling. That's like the highest player that I could possibly get.
Would
because
you
then I'm talking
Would you attach assets to that, Jack?
like
to
picks.
Hurts for a running back? So would you go like Hurts in a second for Cook?
Hurts in a second for Cook. Maybe I'd have to think about it more, because I really Cook is probably not a great example actually, because I'd like to have somebody more probably lower caliber and then also attach somebody onto that like lower caliber too. So like get 2 players for Jalen Hurts so that I can fill my roster. Because as we go through my players, you're going to see pretty quickly that I just don't have the depth. I have no depth.
That's why I don't think you should look for players. I think you should look for picks, because those are free guys that you're taking lottery stabs at that are $0.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, probably if I could get like a first and a second would be super awesome.
I think that would be huge. If you could get that, that'd be awesome. Okay, so if you don't get to trade him before the deadline, I would cut him, because I don't know, maybe to see what people want, but you want to say keep. You want to say keep or cut just for your budget.
Do you think Hurts goes for less than 38 if he gets back into the draft?
No.
Yeah, let's say keep for now.
Okay. CD Lamb for 47. Keep. Whoa, Jack, you're jumping the gun here. Me and AP have to guess first, and then you give us what you're doing.
Right, sorry.
Okay, AP, your
Sorry.
turn. Now you can talk. Did we lose AP?
Did we?
I don't know. It says he's still on the Zoom call, but he's not talking.
Yeah, I see him.
I bet he's over on the other side like, guys, I'm here. I can hear you.
Well, let's just keep going.
Okay. So,
And then hopefully he joins back in.
so CD Lamb for 47, keep for sure.
Yep, keep him. Yep.
T. Higgins, 35. I'd cut him.
Cutting him, yeah.
Unless-
Plenty of cutting him.
Can you guys hear me now?
Oh, there we go.
Oh,
He's back. Well,
I have no
back.
clue what happened there. My
He's
sound
cut
is
out.
way. Hello. Can you guys hear me now?
yeah.
Yep.
Can hear you great.
Hello. Weird. I don't know what happened there.
Oh,
So
well.
the only thing that you missed was CD Lamb for 47. You keeping him?
Yeah, I was here the whole time saying keep. And you guys
funny.
are like, where's AP? He's probably off on the side going like, hey guys. Hey.
And that's exactly what happened.
And that's literally exactly what happened. Yeah.
That's too funny.
we know our
All
stuff.
right, and then what was your answer for T. Higgins at 35?
Mine's cut.
So much of this depends on where he ends up. I think, assuming he's not back and since okay, just for thought experiment, let's say he goes to the Chiefs. I'm keeping him.
Yes.
Let's say he goes to the Jaguars. I'm probably not keeping him.
Okay, let's say let's go best case scenario. Let's say he goes to I don't think the Chiefs can afford him, but let's just say he goes to the Chiefs. Jack, you
I'm
keeping
pretty
him?
sure the Chiefs have the space to afford Higgins.
Do they? I thought they have to repay some guys or re-sign some guys that are gonna.
It's Chris Jones, I think, is a free agent.
Mm-hmm. Maybe they have room. Okay, let's say they do take him. Jack, I would keep him then if he goes to the Chiefs.
Probably.
Okay.
Probably, but that's like a shot in the dark. Like it's pretty much only the Chiefs. I can't really think of a whole lot of teams where I'm like, yeah, I got to keep him now.
Let's say he goes to the Chargers.
I mean, maybe the Texans. I mean, you get him with CJ Stroud.
Yeah. If you went to the Texans, maybe. Yeah, there's probably a couple teams. Chargers is a good one too.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think the Chargers have the space to do it, but that would be fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as of right now, I'd say probably cut.
Okay, we'll leave him cut. Chuba Hubbard for 7.
Keep.
I keep.
Yeah, me too.
I
I almost said it. I almost jumped the gun again.
I think he's worth it for an RB2.
Heck yeah. For $7?
Mm-hmm. That seems pretty good. James Conner for 33.
Oh, this is. I don't think you. I think you cut and hope he goes for cheaper.
That's what I would do too. I think 33 is probably the top end you'd be willing to pay. I think you take a shot at somebody else if you can't get him cheaper than that.
Yep, that's right where I'm at.
Okay. Not Higbee. Stephon Diggs, 53. Goodbye, old man Diggs. Dig the grave.
That's clever.
Thank
That's
you.
good.
I came up with that on the spot.
Ooh.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, spicy.
Mhm.
Spicy.
I just really, if I were making this decision, I would just be so uncomfortable with keeping him.
Yeah.
But I also don't know who else you're gonna like.
Who else you're gonna spend $53 on? I mean, it's a lot.
Well, no, not that. It's more like, okay, Diggs. Yeah, I had a terrible second half of the season.
Mm-hmm.
But he
Like
still
terrible.
probably is going to be ranked as like a top 12 wide receiver next year, like a lower end one.
Yeah.
And with inflation, like he probably would go for more than that. I just don't want to do it.
I don't know if he goes for less or for more than like anywhere near 53. I could see him going for like 40 this year. 40. My guess is going to be he's going to go for like $42.
I think you're probably right.
Yeah, and that's
Even
why
with
I think
inflation.
you guys are. I say cut.
Yeah. Okay.
You're taking a pretty good chance on him. Like, what did Cooper
Yeah.
Kupp go for last year? Because was he injury prone, or did he start out injured or something and he went a little bit cheaper?
He was injured to start the year.
You didn't
Yeah.
go that much cheaper though.
Did he not? Oh no, because Joe Bennett forgot that he was injured, so he paid 47 or something like that.
Is that what?
That's what happened.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. He told us that when he was on the podcast. But as of right now, yes, I'm planning on cutting Diggs.
Okay. So Diggs walks. Demarcus Robinson, no, not even worth talking. Curtis Samuel for 7, I cut.
I don't know. He had a decent enough season where it's like it's $7. I mean,
New coaching staff. Who was it? Rivera loved Samuel. Samuel came over from Carolina.
they did go out and start. Yeah. All right, you're probably right. I'd say cut.
Yeah, I'm planning on cutting him as of right now.
Marquise Hollywood Brown for $20. I'd let him walk.
I'd probably let him walk too.
I'm planning on letting him walk. He was very disappointing. He actually finished worse than Curtis Samuel at wide receiver 52 this year.
I didn't realize he was that bad.
That's pretty brutal. Okay,
Yep.
Baker Mayfield for $5.
Keep.
I keep him.
That's the worst German accent.
Yeah.
Oh, give it to me, Bakers. That's good.
He's a keeper.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yep, I'm keeping Bake Daddy.
Mark Andrews for 34.
No. Actually, oh man. I just think that's too much.
Let me tell you where Jack currently stands to see if it helps you. I mean, wait, hold on. Let's backtrack this. AP, $34 is too much for an elite tight end for you. You are the elite tight end lover.
And look how it's worked for me. All right.
$50 for Gronk. What a steal!
No one gets that. No one gets that. All right. Okay. 34. Yeah, I probably do it. I'm a sucker for the tight end. It's also like, I don't know. I mean, yeah, he was injured this year. Before then, he wasn't having like the best season. It's still probably worth $34.
If Jack keeps him, he still has $39 remaining in keeper budget and $44 remaining for the rest of his team. I let him walk.
Oh, I was just with no running back and how many roster spots to fill?
Hey, I got Chuba Hubbard.
Chuba.
Okay.
Chuba.
Here's what I would do. I would much rather keep Mark Andrews than Jalen Hurts, I think.
What about James Conner?
I don't know.
I think you can get Connor for a better price. I think Andrews is the risk. I think Andrews could go for that price again.
I also think both Andrews and Hurts, if you keep them, have more trade value than Connor would.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah,
So I would maybe basically think of it like tagging Hurts and Andrews, and then try and see what you can do to turn both of those guys into either some depth or some running back.
Would you keep him going into the draft and trade him after, or would you try to trade him for some draft picks before the rookie draft? Because it's going to go rookie draft first, then free agent draft.
I think I would prefer the free agent draft. But I don't know. I don't think you can keep both Hurts and Andrews and field like a really, really solid team.
I don't either. I think that's why if I had to, let's say no trades are available, I would let Hurts walk because you got Baker. He's a cheap option for you to put in. Keep Andrews. So now you've got a stud at tight end. You've got a stud at wide receiver and serviceable guys at QB and running back to start with. How much do you have left? $82 going into the veteran draft. That's only if no trades are available. If you can get a trade, I mean, I would ship Andrews and Hurts for some draft capital if I were you, just to get a bunch of $0 guys. Get 2 or 3 $0 guys for those two guys and save that extra $30.
But the thing is, those $0 guys, Luke, are probably all, going to be worthless. Like, I just don't. Yeah, you get some roster spots you can fill, but are those guys actually going to contribute this year? Especially when you're probably not getting first round picks for either of them. Like, you know what I mean?
You're right. It is more of a risk, but I also think that if you can get those $0 guys plus an extra $72 in veteran draft money and you spread that out to a few guys who are more like $15 to $25, you can fill a roster that could possibly get you promoted.
I don't know. I mean, what was it? $70. You get 3 20-ish player. Like, is that really doing anything to move the needle on this team? I don't think so.
Well, I think it does more than keeping Hurts to me, because you already have a guy who can play quarterback. So you're either keeping Baker on your bench or Hurts on your bench. So one of those guys isn't putting up points week to week for you. If you want to capitalize
Jack, what would it take for you not to keep Baker?
Why would I not keep Baker?
I don't know. I mean, it's $5 that you can't use at a running back.
I would rather keep Baker than Jalen Hurts probably right now.
Wow. Hey, we need to clip that, Luke.
Just because of the price difference, right?
Yeah, for the money.
No, I get that.
Yeah.
And
it's a tough situation because I actually do really like Jalen Hurts. I think there's a couple question marks that are going to next season, but I don't think it affects his status of still finishing top 5 in the quarterback conversation.
I mean, he gets so many rushing touchdowns. I think you're right. Like, if he stays healthy, he will be a top 5 quarterback.
Yeah, the issue with him, though, is I think his rushing tight ends or touchdowns might go down a little bit next year just based on the fact that the tush push might get pulled out of the game. So it could have a factor on it. I don't know. I'd like to keep Hurts if I could, but if I can trade him for, maybe some picks, maybe some players, something like that, it's going to have to sound right, but I don't know. I'm kind of lost. I'm not super happy with my team.
all right, let's move into rating his team. AP, you go first. What do you rate Jack's team?
B- leaning C+.
That's higher than I would give it. I'm a little nervous about what.
All right, then I'm probably a C plus.
Okay, you didn't have to change.
Okay, C minus, D plus.
What do you want me to do? What do you want me to say?
Just tell me what you want. I love CD. I think that's having he was the number 1 wide receiver this year, right?
Yep.
Having that going into next year, that's huge. Baker's a good value. If you can make the right trades, I could see it being a C plus going into next year. But right now, I'm leaning C minus for what you have going into it.
Yeah, I'm at about a C, maybe a C plus, but leaning C. I think it's just not quite enough moving parts, and I think there's too much that has to happen in order for this to be a successful team.
Mm-hmm. All right.
But we'll see how it plays out.
Do you have how long we've been recording for, Jack?
We're at 45 minutes, probably with a little bit of buffer at the beginning.
All right.
So we could probably move into duel.
Why don't we go into the duel?
Let's move into the draft.
Let's do it.
The duel.
The duel.
Again. Well, guys, we almost got through 3 to 4 teams. That's good.
We went on way too long.
All right. The next segment we're getting into is draft battle. On today's draft battle, we're going to be drafting the greatest fantasy football players of all time. We will draft 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, and 1 tight end. By greatest, we mean single seasons. The longevity of the player's career does not matter. It will be a 6-round snake draft. The results will be posted on Xtree to vote on. Luke v. Jack v. AP standings. Currently, Luke is at 1-0, Jack is at 0-1, and AP is at 0-1.
So we've done, how many battles have we recorded? 3 or 4, and only 1 has been voted on?
No, we've only recorded 2. 1's been voted on, and then Jack and I have done 3, but only 2 have been voted on. So I'm keeping separate records for when it's just Jack and I versus when it's all 3 of us.
And did you read the order of the picks, Jack?
I have not yet. Andrew goes first. I go second. Luke goes third.
And we're doing this on a half-point PPR. Right?
Didn't I go second last time?
But it didn't get aired. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
So you're still you're still in second.
I should probably just assume that any content I remember from the last week or so is probably not on the internet.
In a couple weeks, you're just going to be repeating yourself a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think what we should do is we have to give the player and the year that we're talking about.
I don't think we have to give year because I am not prepped to give what year we're talking about.
All right, very fair, very fair.
I think we give the player and everybody online can be like, oh, yeah, it must be this year they're talking about.
Okay.
All right. You guys ready for my first pick?
Number 1 overall.
I'm going LaDainian Tomlinson.
Yep.
What year? It is the 2006 season, though.
Yeah, dude, I was looking up. Okay, just listen to his 2006 season. 31 touchdowns.
Yeah.
That's
insane.
2,300 yards, 1,800 on the ground, 500 through the air. I don't have how many receptions he had, but just an insane fantasy.
Mm-hmm. 481 fantasy points in full PPR.
Yeah. So I'm going LT, boys.
All right. I think that is a great pick.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
All right. Jack.
I am going to go with Christian McCaffrey 2019.
All right.
That's another good. Now back-to-back picks for you, Mista Yaga.
Mista. Get me out of here.
I think Jack and I are working off the same list. I think we're all working off the same list.
I have 2 lists right now.
Well, I've got 4.
Shut up. Really?
No, really.
Okay,
I have 1 list with all the players that I'm planning on picking for each position, and then I also have another list for...
Okay, we get it.
Guys, I don't even know what I'm looking at. Right now, I've got O.J. Simpson at the top of my list. I don't think this draft's going to go well.
If the glove does not fit, you must acquit.
I'm going to go with the onesie position because I'm going to go Travis Kelce at tight end with my number 1 overall pick.
I would not have done that. But...
Well, who are you going to take at tight end? If Jack takes a stud tight end, you're pretty much left with you're going to be at a major deficit for tight end.
There's
Evan
actually
Ingram, baby. Evan Ingram. All right.
second best tight end of the season.
Yeah.
That's true.
Sam Laporta, future stud tight end. All right.
Oh my.
Kelsey's not a terrible pick.
No,
but
it's actually not.
But I actually think Andy could get a better tight end if it comes back to him. Still, even if I take one.
Yeah.
Then every other position that has so many guys.
Just make your pick.
Okay.
Now Andy's getting feisty.
I know.
I had my little emotional moment. Now he's getting all fired up.
I want to win.
Jeez, guys, I just want to be friends. I will go.
This isn't fun anymore.
I'm gonna go with. This might be the wrong pick, but I will go with Cooper Kupp.
Justin Tucker.
The Cooper
Kupp.
It's a good pick.
What was it, 2 years ago? His 2021 or 2020, whatever his insane
2021, 1,900 yards, and how many touchdowns? It was ridiculous.
season. Yeah.
439.5 fantasy points in 2021.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that pick.
Yeah. Yeah, Cooper. That was the most by any wide receiver, right?
I think so. I don't know.
Yes.
Guys, I'm not looking at a list, so I'm just kind of throwing things out there. Jack, who are you taking with your second pick?
I got to think about this. I wasn't expecting that.
I thought it was Andy next.
Well, I will go with. I'm gonna go with Marshall Faulk, 2000.
Yeah,
That's a good pick.
that's a really good pick. I had him on the list, but I didn't know if you guys would go with more running backs. I don't know. If Andy
Yeah.
picks a running back here, though, then I can just wait. I can just chill on my RBs because you guys are filled up.
Chill.
Oh, this is tough. I feel like okay. I'm gonna with my second pick. I'm gonna go with Priest Holmes,
Yeah.
Yep.
So good.
Good pick.
and then with my next pick, I'm going to go with this is tough.
Okay, just to update you guys, I pulled up a list. I don't.
I'm gonna go with. Oh my gosh, this is brutal. I'm actually gonna go with Rob Gronkowski.
Yeah, that's what I would have gone with.
Ooh, Gronk's a great pick.
Yeah, that's who I kind of wanted.
I mean, I figured there's one other tight end that I think is like within those three, that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of thinking about maybe waiting, but I just want Gronk smash on my team.
Yeah, that's really solid.
Gronk smash. Oh, that puts me in a tough spot. So nobody else is going to take a tight end, so I don't have to worry about that now. I am going to go with. Give me. I think I know who I'm going with.
Just say it.
I gotta make sure. All right, I'm gonna go Jerry Rice, 1995.
Okay.
All right.
I like that. That's not too shabby.
Second most points for a wide receiver behind Cooper Kupp.
Is that what it is? It depends on. I guess
Yeah.
it depends on what your stats are. If it's half point,
Yeah,
full
it's full
point.
It's full point.
But I think we're doing. I'm envisioning it as a half point, and I think I did preface the draft.
I
with
was
that.
doing touchdown only. So yeah, this is not cool.
I'm doing full PPR just because that's what most people play on. So if we're gonna post it on X,
Where's the IDP players coming in?
IDP.
The
Individual defensive player.
Andy, Ed Reed was my next pick. God.
My bad.
I'm going to go with Randy Moss for my...
Good pick.
Randy Moss, and then so that fills up my wide receivers. So I need running backs and QB. Well, I have no clue who had the... I've got two seasons in my mind for the best, and I can't really talk about them because I'll give them away. But
Which position are you thinking of?
QB, because you guys already have running back filled, so I'll just take those with my last two picks. I'm going to go with, I think Lamar Jackson's first MVP season. I think that was
2019 Lamar.
Yeah. I don't know if that was the greatest one. I have another one in my head that might be better.
It was close, but not quite the best.
Not quite the best.
Dang it. Oh, well. Maybe.
I'm also seeing different readings for different sites, though.
That's what I'm saying. People have different stats for, like, some people do a point for 20 yards passing. Some do it for 25 yards passing.
Yeah. I actually did see one that said Lamar Jackson had the highest scoring season, but I've seen three separate ones talking about how three different quarterbacks had the highest points in a season.
Yeah. Okay, so
No, that's not good.
my other pick was we'll see if you guys take it. I think somebody will. So, Jack, your turn.
All right. Yeah, this is tough. Maybe because depending on... Oh, no. This is weird. All right, I'm going to go with... AP, I think we were on the same list.
There was like 3 sites that popped up. I guarantee you we're on the same list, right?
Yeah, we probably were. I'm going to go with... All right, I'm going to go with what this list says. I'm going to go with Patrick Mahomes.
All right.
This has Mahomes 2022 as the most fantasy points in a single season. But I also saw another one that said Lamar Jackson, and I saw another one that said somebody else.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming... I would like to guess which one AP's going with.
Well, it's going to be my last pick, so I won't
true.
be...
Oh, so then it won't matter. Well, I won't. Yeah, I'm not going to say anything then.
I'm going to do wide receiver.
Shocker.
Back.
Shocker.
We're going to go with Marvin Harrison.
Great pick.
And then we're going to go with Antonio Brown.
Ooh, such a good pick. How did I forget about Antonio Brown?
That's a good one.
How was he the 5th wide receiver?
So I don't think it was more he had that like 3 or 4 year run where he was always like in the top 3.
But he
did have 2 of the top 5. He had 2 of the top 6 or 5.
Top 5. Yeah.
Wide receiver
14.
seasons in back-to-back seasons. But yeah, he was also just so consistent.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So in your words, so that the people can hear it, Cooper Kupp and Randy Moss were still better picks than Antonio Brown, is what you're saying.
No.
Well, I will say I had 2 of the top 6 seasons. You only have 1 of the top 6 seasons. Both of you. So I'm just throwing it out there.
Here's what it's this by greatest we mean single seasons. Literally in the description. 1 season AP.
Yeah, I don't know who drafted that.
You don't get
That's a little ambiguous if you ask me.
Yeah.
Poor drafting on that person.
Jack, who are you taking with your 5th pick?
I am going to go with a wide receiver, and we're going to take CeeDee Lamb 2023.
Really?
Yeah, he's number 3 all time.
I don't think that's right.
It's because
Cooper Kupp, Jerry Rice,
because
CeeDee
Jack's
Lamb.
going off a full point PPR when this is a half point PPR draft.
I might be looking at a full point PPR site, so I don't know what I...
Yeah, this one says it goes Cooper Kupp, Jerry Rice, CeeDee Lamb, Antonio Brown, Randy Moss, Marvin Harrison, Isaac Bruce, Tyreek Hill, Randy Moss again.
Yeah.
All right.
Nope. See, that's not the list I was going off of.
Yeah.
All right. So I've got 2 final picks. They've both got to be running backs. Shoot, you guys kind of got me nailed on running backs.
Yeah, I think the players you have left, they're like fine, but definitely not those like generational, it feels like, running backs.
Can I take just another season of Christian McCaffrey? Like Jack can take one of his seasons, I'll take another season.
Didn't you say we were
Jack,
doing
I feel like that's a pretty firm no, don't you think?
Yeah. I'm going to say it's a pretty easy no.
Okay. Well, okay, I've been doing this draft pretty much with no list the whole time, so let's just stick to it. Let's go with oh my gosh. Todd Gurley. And then I'm going to close out the draft with Barry Sanders.
Ooh. Barry.
No, was Barry?
Yes,
I didn't
he was
see him
great.
on any list.
Barry was the greatest of all time.
Are you saying that? Are you arguing from a longevity perspective, or just clarify your thought process?
No,
there?
greatest season because
okay.
Barry Sanders.
Because Barry's good.
He's Barry Sanders.
Barry's the best. Barry's the best.
You guys have both filled out your running backs. So the other one that I was thinking about doing was Sean Alexander's season the year before LT or the year after, whatever that.
2005 Sean Alexander.
Yeah, I was also thinking of that one. But
I was thinking, you had David Johnson and Chris Johnson available too. Chris Johnson's 2,000-yard season.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one too. You know what? I'm trying to go after the older demographic here. I'm hoping that
They're very active on X. Yeah.
I'm hoping that I pull all of the over 40s. So that's what I'm aiming for. I think that's our demographic, 40 to 93. So
our demographic age 1 to 99. Yeah.
Jack, who are you taking
All
with your
right.
last pick?
I am going to go with my last position, my tight end, and I'm going to go Jimmy Graham.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not
Good
even
pick, Jack.
Not even who I was thinking. I thought
Who were you
What were you
thinking?
thinking?
Tony Gonzalez.
Antonio Gates?
Tony
Oh,
Gonzalez.
Tony Gonzalez.
I was thinking like Tony Gonzalez. I think Jimmy Graham was the better
I think
pick.
Graham was the better pick. I just was thinking Gonzalez.
And then
The only
with
one that
my,
Oh, yeah,
go
go
ahead,
ahead.
Jack.
Sorry. No,
no,
you're good.
I insist. Nope.
This is more of a end of the draft comment. So
Okay. My last pick, I'm going to take Peyton Manning.
Yep.
That's a solid one.
Yep. We were definitely looking at the same list, AP.
I mean, it makes
that's-
sense though. Like I'm pretty happy with my roster.
That's not who I
Yeah,
would have
same.
gone with. I would have gone
Who would
with
you have gone with, Luke?
the Eagles' Michael Vick season.
No.
Do you not remember how great that season was? He was the number one
Yeah,
overall
wasn't-
player
what-
in fantasy that year.
Yeah, because no one knew how to draft at that time.
Yeah, that was the same year Peyton Manning was in the league. I would take Vic that year over Manning. Case closed.
I think that I'm trying to think, Michael Vick, that season, was that 2009, 2010?
I can't remember, but the next year was horrible.
That might have been the Yeah, I was going to say, and also that might have been Peyton Manning's neck injury season.
Well, we were taking single greatest season, and so it was all based off of Michael Vick's 2009 season. So they're all 2009. It doesn't matter who is took.
No, I'm taking Peyton Manning's 2013 when he had like over 5,000 yards and 55 touchdowns or whatever.
I mean, it's okay, I guess, if you like touchdowns.
It's no Michael Vick, but it'll do.
It's no Michael
I think
Vick.
out of the lists, I think if I had to make an assumption on who has the best list, I'd say it's AP.
Yeah.
He's
If I were
got
a
the
betting
most.
man, I'd bet on myself.
He's got the most points by any player with LaDainian Tomlinson. Rob Gronkowski is the best tight end. Rob. Priest Holmes in like the top 4 for running backs. Antonio Brown's in the top 4 for running backs. Marvin Harrison's right up there, and Peyton Manning's top 3 for quarterbacks.
Here's what you
Also,
ha-
I think
here's what you have
Gronk
to
had the best tight
understand.
end season.
I don't know. Here's what you have to understand, guys. it's total points. So I'm outscoring you with my wide receivers. Even though your running backs are great, my wide receiver seasons are just that much better.
I don't think the math works out on that.
You know what?
I think you're hurting on Todd Gurley and Barry Sanders.
I think
Yeah, my list says that LT scored 481 points in 2006, and Cup only scored 439.5 in 21.
Yeah, but that's because you're going touchdowns only, AP. You guys are both on the wrong list.
What's 481 divided by 6? How many touchdowns is that? Oh my gosh, 8. Like 80 touchdowns.
Yeah,
That was a good season for him.
That's a pretty bad season, if I'm honest. I mean, Randy Moss put up like 55
That's like a LeGarrette
alone.
Blount type season, right? Yeah. Or no, that's a who's the guy from Detroit that went to New Orleans from Green Bay? Jamal Williams.
Yeah,
Like Jamal Williams, all right?
Oh, yeah.
80 yards, 80 touchdowns.
we should do this draft again sometime, but do it in a touchdown only league. Like we're going like back to 1990s rules. It's touchdowns only, no yards that matter at all.
That
I
really
also
should be a
feel
fun
like
draft.
we should do like something with like the worst fantasy or like most disappointing fantasy seasons of all time, or
Biggest bus.
I'll just
A
Yeah,
biggest
biggest
bus
bust.
draft.
I'm just gonna draft
And
you
I
from
will-
old York Yorkies, my entire roster.
I was gonna say, like, I remember vividly my very first fantasy football pick was Sean Green, and he was terrible that first year. So everyone had high hopes for him. Sean Green. Who was the other one that busted? Oh man, like Antonio Gates, I picked super high one of my first couple years. I was just crushed.
Antonio Gates.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think.
Top 10 biggest busts of all time in the NFL.
Trying to think who my
see.
biggest bust.
Jamarcus Russell for the Raiders.
Wow.
yeah, it's NFL draft.
Yeah, not fantasy. He never got drafted
Yeah,
for
true.
fantasy.
Biggest fantasy.
Who AP
Busts.
AP? Who was your worst fantasy?
You got to be
bust?
careful with that search, Chad.
It's just a bunch of pictures of Baker like this naked.
Oh, that's a nice bust, Baker.
Oh,
Oh, you've been
Baker.
working on your pecs.
Oh my gosh.
Some people are saying Eckler has to be one of, if not the biggest, top 5 picked, injured, pretty bad production, potentially losing his job to an RBBC.
I don't
Miles
know
Sanders.
if I'd call Eckler.
No.
Like, I think that's just this last year.
Yeah. No, yeah, right. I think they were saying about like last season. This is just on Reddit, so. And then a lot
I
of
was
people
going
are
to say
saying
like
like
Trent Richardson.
Damian Pierce. A lot of people are saying Damian Pierce was a massive bust.
I'm trying to think who was the worst
Oh,
bust that I ever had personally.
People are saying
well-
Marquise Brown.
Well, I mean, just this one article. Le'Veon Bell in 2018, he got his average pick was 1.02, and he didn't play that year, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
What else?
Um,
Adrian Peterson in 20.
what happened? What about the Michael Thomas the year after he set the record?
Yeah,
that had to
that
be a
was
pretty
bad.
bad one too, huh? Yeah, I don't know. Well, we'll do a biggest bust draft another time, and Jack can just take Baker for every single pick.
So Baker Mayfield, he places my tight end.
Oh, he has a very tight end, wouldn't you say?
This is a bust draft, not a tight end draft. Okay, we're looking for upper body. That's it.
He was
Rib
blessed
cage.
with
Why not
both.
both?
Rib cage up.
All right, should we
gosh.
close out the show?
Let's do
Yeah,
it.
we've been talking in German too long.
Yeah, we have. We are the relegation fantasy football.
Sprechen the Deutsch.
We are relegation fantasy football on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. You can find us on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at the Relegation League. We're also on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Relegation FFL. Fantasy League Home is linked in the show description. We're on Yahoo Sports. It's more so for the middle of the season, but check us out there if you'd like. Send us your questions on Twitter and TikTok as well. And as always, follow and subscribe for more content. We post every Thursday during the off season and Tuesdays and Thursdays during the regular season. We'll
Hey,
see
whoa,
you later.
Jack.
Relegation. Yeah.
I was gonna say,
We'll see you later, relegators.
We'll see you on the flip.
See you.
I can't even do that. That's so good.
That's you got
Oh,
into
see you
mine
guys.
there, AP. Goodbye.
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 Toot-toot. We'll see you next time, yeah.
Oh,
Oh
my gosh.